Okay, and so let's take a look at your activity 14, your starch. And so with that, we did your hydrolysis of your starch. Okay, and so your starch, and so it's found abundantly in your plant kingdom, particularly, and so they are found in your fruits, cereals, seeds, bulbs, and tubers. And so it is one of the most important constituents of your human diet, of the human diet, no? And so making up about 50 to 70% of the solid substances of most of your cereals and about 80% of your potato, no? Ayan, so your starch occurs in the form of granules, okay? And so let's take a look at your acid hydrolysis of your starch, no? So your hydrolysis of your starch will give you will give rise to gradually diminishing molecular size and complexity with simultaneous production of maltose. And so with this, and so you have your gradual, meaning and so paliit siya ng paliit, no? And so you have your, and of course, simultaneous production of maltose. Okay, and so let's take a look at your acid hydrolysis. And so what we used here actually is you have there your HCl, your hydrochloric acid. And so your starch and then when hydrolyzed using your acid will produce your soluble starch, and then further hydrolysis will give you your amylodextrin, and then to your erythrodextrin, and then to your aprodextrin, and then your maltose, and finally to your glucose. Okay, and so complete hydrolysis using your acid hydrolysis, and so will give you your glucose, individual glucose units, no? And so your starch, and so that is when you test it using your iodine test, and so it will give you a blue or black color. Okay, and so it will give you a blue or black color. And then you have your soluble starch still, and so it will give you a blue color. And then your amylodextrin, and so will give you purple. And then erythrodextrin, and so will give you red. And then you have your aprodextrin, and so you have it as colorless accordingly. And so it is colorless with iodine test. Or of course the color of your iodine, no? And so the color of your iodine. And then your maltose, and so negative with iodine test. And then your glucose will give you a negative with iodine test. And so, supposed to be theoretically, ganito sana ang mangyayari sa atin in the laboratory. No? And so, ganito sana. But then, nangyari is, parang wala. Blue na lang. Blue lahat. Blue lahat yung 12 na solution natin. No? And so, from your, I guess, kulang lang tayo ng hydrolysis nun. No? Okay, and so in your erythrodextrin, and so this one accordingly will give a weak positive with Benedict's test, no? And so in this one, in your erythrodextrin, and so it will give you a weak positive with your Benedict's test. Okay, and so that is a +1. Okay, and so your acid hydrolysis of starch involves again the use of your acids like your hydrochloric acid and your sulfuric acid to break down starch molecules into your simpler components. Okay? And so this one, and so your acid hydrolysis can result in side reactions or incomplete hydrolysis. And so leading to a mixture of products. Okay, and so but then again, incomplete hydrolysis of your starch, and so you will have your individual glucose units. Okay. And so let's take a look at your enzymatic hydrolysis of starch. And so this enzymatic hydrolysis of starch happens in the body. And so inside the human body during digestion, of course. Okay, and so you have your two types of enzymes that will act on your starch, no? And so you have your alpha amylase and your beta amylase. And so your alpha amylase that will include your pancreatic and salivary amylase. And for your beta amylase, and so for your what you call this, for your beta amylase, and so it will attack the polysaccharide producing maltose. Okay? And so these two actually and so they have no activity against your alpha 1,6 glycosidic bonds or your beta 1,4 glycosidic bonds. No, and so they have this for your alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds only. Okay, and so let's take a look at this one. Okay, and so again, you have your salivary amylase, your pancreatic amylase, and then your maltase, and so that will act on your maltose, disaccharide maltose. And after that, of course, if you have your individual glucose units, then it will be absorbed. And so, but let's take a look at this one. And so your alpha amylase will attack your amylose. And so to produce a mixture of glucose and maltose. Okay. And so for your beta amylase, and so it will produce pure maltose only. And so when your beta amylase attacks your amylose, and so it will produce pure maltose only. And so in case of your amylopectin, and so when your amylopectin is attacked by your alpha amylase, it will produce a branched and unbranched oligosaccharide. Okay, and so with that, and so you have still your alpha 1,6 present again, and so your alpha amylase, and your beta amylase, they cannot break your alpha 1,6, and so they cannot break your alpha 1,6 glycosidic bonds. Okay, and then attacked by your beta amylase. And so your when amylopectin is attacked by your beta amylase, and so it will produce your maltose and limit dextrin. And so you have your maltose and your limit dextrin. And so your limit dextrin here, and so that is the limit of your what they call this, your beta amylase. Again, because they cannot break down your alpha 1,6 bonds, no? The alpha 1,6 glycosidic bonds present in your amylopectin. And so the branching. Okay, and so your enzymatic hydrolysis of your starch, and so will involves the use of enzymes like your amylase, including your alpha amylase and your beta amylase, and to break down your starch molecules into simpler molecules. And this one, actually, your enzymatic hydrolysis is a more controlled breakdown of starch, and so to produce desired products. Okay, so let's take a look at your comparison in your uh, amylose and your amylopectin. Okay, and so you have here your amylose, and so that is made up of in terms of molecular size, and so your amylose that is made up of 300 glucose units with a molecular weight of 50,000. Okay, and so that is made up of 300 glucose units with a molecular weight of 50,000. Okay, and so in contrast with your amylopectin, and so it is made up of 25 to 30 glucose units in its branch chain, and the molecular weight can reach up to 1 million. Okay, and so the molecular weight can reach up to 1 million. Okay, your amylose, and so that is linear, and your amylopectin is highly branched. Okay, and so you have it as your molecular mode of bonding, and so you have alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds in your amylose, and since it is linear, no, and then in your amylopectin you have alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds in the linear form, and then at the branching you have your alpha 1,6 glycosidic linkage. No, and then your reaction to iodine, your amylose will give a blue-black or blue color, and then your amylopectin will give you red. Okay, and so we'll give you red color for that. Okay, and so let's take a look at your properties and uses of your starch, no? And so again, your starch, and so that is insoluble to water. Okay, and so your starch, and so accordingly, starch solutions, and so will form your starch when dissolve into water, and so it will form a colloidal solution. Okay, and so this colloidal solution will exhibit viscosity, and thickening properties. And so they are used in valuable in food, pharmaceuticals, and industrial applications like such as like your adhesives, no? And so they act as an adhesive and coating. Okay, and so also, and so they are used in the manufacturing industry. And so for the production of for the production of paper, and so for production of textiles, and then also production of your drugs. No, and so they are used as a coating agent, and so binding agent, and others. No, and so they are also used in the production of plastics, biodegradable plastics. And so you have there, okay, and so in the food industry, and so they are used in for the production of candies, and so in baking, and so those items, okay, and so in case, and so in this experiment, and so suppose your end result should be the hydrolysis of your starch, and so should theoretically should yield you, and so should produce individual glucose units, and so no, and so it will produce you individual glucose units, and so but then, and so during the experiment, and so none of uh walang hindi nag-clear yung blue solution, and so hindi man ay yung the blue reaction with iodine, hindi man lang siya naging red, no, or even brown. Ayan, so with that, ayan, so using your Siliwanov's test, ayan, so it will give you a negative result for that. Okay? And so supposed to be. And so supposed to be, and so the end hydrolysis of your starch is your individual glucose units. And so when you're going to test that one using your Siliwanov's test in the rest of your reducing test, and so for Siliwanov's test, it should give a negative result. And then the rest of the test for your reducing sugars, it should give a positive result. But then, and so during the experiment, and so hindi natin na-hydrolyze yung uh, starch, no? And so, uh, amylose pa rin siya. Amylose pa rin siya until hanggang sa 12 na tube. And so anyways, and so that is for that, theoretically, ganun dapat ang mangyayari. Okay, and so that is for your hydrolysis of your starch, no?